In today's video, we're going to be playing with the Photoshop pattern preview tool. I did use this in my last video, but I managed to cut off the top of the screen while I was recording. So I thought today I'd have another go and try and do it a bit better. So we're going to start off by painting some watercolor trees, and then I'll scan them in, take them across into Photoshop, and there we will arrange them in a pattern and see how that goes. So the video will be divided into two parts, the first part with a watercolor and then the second part just the pattern preview. If you want to jump straight to the pattern preview in Photoshop, I'll leave a timestamp down below so you can do that. But otherwise, let's get on with the watercolor painting. First of all, we have to choose the colors. Choosing colors, or limiting myself to colors, should I say, is really difficult because I love them all and I really struggle to cut down. So I'm going to attempt to limit myself to 5 or 6 colors, but I'm not quite sure which ones because I was playing around before and it's just really hard to cut some out. So we'll go and see what happens when we get down to it. So here's the Gallo set with 24 signature colors, including Yemen blue. So undecided about which ones. I think I want to go with a kind of darker forest to begin with. So let me just show you the trees. These are a bunch of trees that we're going to be painting. I'm going to do them all as separate elements, and then when I bring them into Photoshop, I've got more freedom to play around with them rather than if they were all immediately overlapping here on the page. So that's what we're going to be colouring, painting in, and these are the colours. I've sped the next bit up because I took about 10 minutes playing around and choosing the colours, and you can see all my indecision and final decision on the screen. I ended up picking Notturno, Quinacridone Magenta, Harbour Blue, Aquamarine, Deep Olive Green, Deep Sea Green and Medici Red. So I think the first thing I'll do is I'll paint these small little elements in the Quinacridone Magenta colour. I'll just put up some music while I paint these elements and then we'll get onto the pattern preview. I love this purple, it's so deep and velvety. It's just absolutely beautiful. And I forgot to say, I'm painting on Fabriano's mixed media paper, which is, I think it's 250 grams. But it's got a bit of a tooth, but not so much as a cold press paper would. So I find it nice to use when I'm going to scan stuff in and bring it into Photoshop because it doesn't get so much of that texture, which is lovely on a cold press paper, or can be lovely on a cold press paper depending on the cold press paper, but I don't necessarily want to be focusing so much on the texture of the paper rather than on the colors, so that's why I haven't gone for a cold press paper today. So there's our forest of elements. I might draw one or two small little leaves, separate leaves in this light blue colour, which is the aquamarine, just in case I need some more fillers when we actually get there. So I'll just quickly do that and then we can go across to the scanner. So I scanned in the image, and the first thing I'm going to do is clean up the background. So I'm going to go Apple L to bring up the levels, and I'm going to pick the white point and just click on the background to make it white. So the background is mostly white now, but there are some specks of dirt that we can see that must have been on the scanner bed. And I just want to clean up a few of these edges of the plants. The way that I'm going to do that, or the way that I like to do it, is to get the white on my paintbrush. Just check I've got white there. 6Fs is the white colour. And then I'm just going to paint them white so that the whole thing becomes white, and then I can delete it easily at the end. So I'll just go ahead and do that. I'm also going to delete any little pencil lines that are left over. This can seem like a quite laborious process, but I like to kind of see it more as a meditative process and just enjoy it. Okay, so that's the white background mostly cleaned up. I'm now going to attempt to take it away, and then we can see how well I cleaned it up. So I'll click on it, and then I'll click select similar just to get all those bits in there, and I'm going to hit delete. Okay, so the best way for me to see how clean it is to put another layer beneath it, and I'm going to make that fillet, make it 50% grey. And then I can see if there are any white bits left over. So that's done a pretty good job. I'm just going to zoom in closer up and see if there are any final edges I want to remove. I think that's going to be fine, especially as I'm going to have it on a white background, so it's not really going to be seen if there were anything there. If I were going to put it on a black background or on a dark background, for example, I would definitely want to clear up these edges here which have got white in them. But seeing as the background's going to be white anyway, that's not going to be a problem. So I'll just make the background white again. So now what I'm going to do is take each individual element and put it on its own layer and turn it into a smart object. That way I'll be able to manipulate each individual element by itself, and it will work when we use the pattern preview. So now I'm going to turn each layer into a smart object, and the way I do that is by clicking on the layer, clicking on this little icon here of the 3 lines, and then going down to convert to smart object. So that's fairly easy. I'll just go ahead and do the rest of them. Okay, that's all the plants made into smart objects. So now I'm going to just drag them into the center because I want to make this canvas a square. Because right now they're all kind of spread out, so I want them to be a bit more overlapping, a bit more crowded. So we're going to need to change the size of the canvas. So I'll just move them around, put them in the middle over each other, and then we can move them back into position, into their new position later. So the canvas right now is, let's put it into inches, 11 by 8 inches. I'm going to make it 8 by 8 inches square. Okay, so now we've got the canvas the right size. I can just start to drag these pieces around, but first of all let's go up to view and put the pattern preview on. Pattern preview works best with smart objects. Transforming pixel layers may show unexpected results, but that's okay because we've made everything into smart objects. So there it is. I'm just going to zoom out. So you can see right now, it looks like bouquets of flowers. Everything is repeated around. So whatever I do on this central panel, it gets repeated all around me so I can see exactly how the pattern is going to work. So now I just need to play around and drag all these items around and find the best positioning for them all. So I'll just do that. I can also change the direction of them just by dragging at the corners. You get this kind of corner shaped arrow, and that enables me to move the direction, and then I can continue dragging all the other elements. So for now, just go for a rough positioning, get everything roughly where I might want it. So I'm just zooming out to see if there are any obvious lines, and I feel like this one here, I need to move that bit a little bit. It's just always a process of going back and forward to see which elements are disturbing. I'm quite pleased with the colour combination, so I think it's really nice. I think we're going to push that one behind that purple as well, so that I can hide its stalk. I also want to pull that green one down beneath the purple one for the same reason that I want to hide its stalk. So I'm just looking at it now and seeing if there are any other really critical issues that I need to fix. So it's just a fun way to kind of really get a quick idea of how the pattern might work and play around with it instead of spending hours making it and then repeating it manually left, right, up and down as I would always have done in the past. That is a much faster way. So there's the pattern. I'm really quite pleased with it. It feels really summery, really fresh. I'm loving the colours, and it was really quite quick to do. So this pattern preview tool is a game changer. It's extremely useful. You can see exactly what you're doing in real time, which is wonderful. Now let's see what happens if I come out of it. So there's my pattern square, but you can see that I've lost the pieces, the repeating pieces. So this purple one on the right, it doesn't show over here, and this purple one here, there's none of it over here, and the blue one here, it's not showing up there. So when you come out of the pattern preview, it looks like your full pattern isn't there. So the way to get around that is to go back into it. There it is again. So while I'm here, I'm going to go edit, define pattern. We'll just call that flowers. And then if I create a new document, I'll make it 5,000 pixels by 5,000 pixels. And then if I go edit, fill, contents, pattern, and then find my pattern, which was the last one I made. There it is. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it would be to go layer, new fill layer, pattern. Okay, and then to select my pattern here. And then if I want to scale it, I can do that, making it bigger or making it smaller. Oops, that's way too small. So that's the way that you can view your pattern at different sizes. But if I wanted to save my pattern as an actual file, because this one here coming out of pattern preview, let's do that again. Coming out of pattern preview, that's not something that I could use as a repeating tile. So if I wanted to save a repeating tile, then I would just come back into my file. I'll just delete that layer there. So I'll make it the same size as my original canvas, which was 2400 pixels, 2400 pixels. And I can then fill that with my pattern. And there we have it, exactly as it would be there. But this time I've got the blue repeating, I've got everything repeating on both sides. So that would be, and then I would just save that file in order to save my pattern tile. So that is how to use the pattern preview tool in Photoshop. I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.